This breathtaking adventure, inspired by French writer Jules Verne's book, begins with our main protagonist, Trevor Anderson, a volcanologist and professor. He has a casual workday, but after lectures, Professor Allen approaches Trevor and informs him that the laboratory of his brother, Max, who disappeared 10 years ago, will be closed because of a lack of financing. Trevor tries to convince Allen not to do that, but without any luck. And soon, he heads back home. There, he hears voice messages from his brother's wife, Liz, that she and her son, Sean, are coming soon. Trevor remembers that he agreed to spend 10 days with his nephew while Liz finishes preparations for moving out to Canada with Sean. At that exact moment, Liz and Sean arrive, and Trevor does his best to tidy up his place. Sean is not too happy about spending 10 days with Trevor. The only important thing to him is his PSP. However, Trevor is optimistic, thinking they will have a great time together. Before leaving, Liz gives Trevor a box that belonged to his brother Max. Trevor and Sean carefully look through Max's things. Trevor discovers a novel, Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. And inside, he finds his brother's notes. Among those mysterious notes, Trevor discovers information about volcanoes his brother researched. He notices that the numbers look familiar. So he takes Sean to Max's laboratory to learn more about the notes. There, Sean notices a signal coming from Iceland, and when Trevor sees it, he realizes that Max may be there. They come back home, and Trevor calls Liz to pick up Sean. However, Sean wants to go with Trevor, and he pulls out the phone cables and tells his uncle he wants to find his father and see him for the first time. Trevor decides to take him along, and in a plane, he explains the plot of Journey to the Center of the Earth to Sean, and there is a possibility that Max found a lava tube that leads to the center of the Earth. Trevor and Sean then investigate Max's notes and find the name of an Icelandic volcanologist who was probably in contact with Max. After landing, they locate the volcanologist's institute, or, more accurately, his house. There, the volcanologist's daughter Hannah, a mountain guide, tells them that her father died and that his institute doesn't exist anymore. She invites Trevor and Sean in, and they explain why they came to Iceland. Hannah, upon seeing Max's notes, tells them that her father believed that Jules Verne's books were actual facts, just like Max believed. She offers to help them climb a mountain to find an instrument that has suddenly started sending data again. After some time, they find it, but a storm appears out of nowhere. Hannah and Sean take refuge in a nearby cave, while Trevor tries to take the instrument out of the ground. He pulls it out, but a lightning bolt suddenly hits the ground. Hannah tells him to throw the instrument because it attracts lightning, and Trevor quickly throws it away before jumping into the cave. The cave entrance collapses, trapping them, so they have no alternative but to go deeper into the cave. After finding a big hole, the group decides to descend through it. Trevor slips, and he starts falling. However, he doesn't fall because the group is connected by ropes. Hannah tells him he will pull her and Sean with him if he doesn't cut his rope. Trevor tells her to wait, but Hannah cuts the rope anyway, and Trevor falls to the ground. To his luck, he was just a few centimeters above it. The group then continues their journey and finds an abandoned mine. Hannah tells them that there was an accident in this mine where 80 people died, and the mine got shut down. They find mine carts and decide to use them to quickly travel through the mine. The ride soon becomes intense, as the group barely manages to get across a piece of broken track. Soon, Hannah and Trevor find themselves hurling at dead ends. But with Hannah's quick thinking, they survive. Sean joins them, and the group finds a cave full of diamonds, rubies, and emeralds. Sean starts taking as much as he can. Then everyone hears a cracking noise, and Hannah discovers that they are standing on a muscovite floor. And muscovite is a thin mineral that easily breaks, so Trevor tells everyone to slowly leave the room. A diamond falls out of Sean's backpack and breaks the floor. The group falls into the water, and after a short break, they continue their way and find a flock of glowing birds. Trevor explains to the others that those birds went extinct 150 million years ago. They follow the birds and end up in the center of the Earth, a world within a world with its own ecosystem and a sun, which is made up of various gases. The group continues their journey, now through beautiful landscapes that are all described in Verne's book. Suddenly, they find a shallow tree. Trevor and Sean decide to investigate it, while Hannah goes to examine the surrounding area. The uncle and nephew discover Max's journal and a bunch of his notes, which means that he managed to get to the center of the Earth and then lived in this tree. They assume that Max is alive, but that thought soon fades as Hannah informs them that she found Max's remains. The group buries him on a beach, and Trevor reads Max's journal to Sean, revealing to him that his father regretted his journeys and that he wanted to spend more time with him. They return to the treehouse and start researching Max's notes. Soon, they discover that the temperature will start rising, and they need to escape by crossing the ocean and reaching a lava tube, where a geyser will eject them onto the surface through a volcano. Trevor then calculates how much time they have and realizes that they only have 48 hours until the temperature increases to the point it will kill them. The group quickly builds a raft, and Trevor gives Sean Max's compass while explaining that they must go north to reach the volcano entrance. Soon, they set sail. Hannah notices a storm in the distance and notifies Trevor, who tells them they must go through it because they do not have time. The storm surrounds them, and suddenly, a school of fish attacks them. The group fights back as much as they can. Then, a pack of elasmosauruses appear, and they begin eating the fish. That saves the group, but the raft's sail breaks, so Sean tries to grab it, but the wind is too strong, and it takes him away. After some time, Sean wakes up on shore, and a glowing bird appears and starts guiding him. Trevor and Hannah are somewhere else on shore. Both of them think Sean will head in the right direction, so they will find him sooner or later if they continue their way. Soon, they stop for a break, but it's interrupted by giant carnivorous plants. While slaying them, Trevor notices that one plant is suffocating Hannah, so he rips it from the ground and saves her. They continue going forward, but after some walking, Trevor tells Hannah that he will go back to look for Sean. The two of them part ways, and, desperate, Trevor leaves to find his nephew. Sean comes across a magnetic field and sees that he must cross floating rocks to get to the other side. Carefully, he starts jumping from one to another, and as he jumps on the last stone, it turns upside down. Sean gives it his best to hold on, and after agonizing minutes, he gets to the other side and continues his way through a desert. There, he finds giant dinosaur remains and hears growling in the distance. The ground starts trembling, and Sean realizes that something large is approaching. He quickly hides behind a large rock, hoping that he will evade whatever is coming. However, a giantosaurus appears behind the rock, and he starts chasing Sean. Luckily, Sean manages to get in a cave with an entrance too small for the dinosaur. At the same time, Trevor hears Sean's screams and runs to the wall where it's coming from. He destroys it, making enough space for Sean to get through. The two of them finally reunite. They see another cave entrance in the distance, and Trevor tells Sean that the geyser is definitely there. Suddenly, the dinosaur shatters the rock wall and starts chasing them. While running for his dear life, Trevor notices a muscovite field and starts luring the dinosaur that way. The ground shatters, and the dinosaur falls to his death. Trevor and Sean soon reach the cave, where they find a river that will take them to the geyser, but they do not have a boat to reach it. Suddenly, Hannah appears on an improvised boat, and the duo join her. They get to the lava tube where the geyser is, or better to say, where it should be, because there is no water. Hannah notices that the walls are wet. Trevor inspects them and discovers that they are rich with magnesium. He gets the idea to ignite the magnesium with a flare, so the wall explodes and releases water from the other side. He fails 2 times, but the third time he manages to ignite the magnesium and destroy the wall. The water comes into contact with lava, creating a geyser that shoots the group out of the volcano. Their skull boat, slides through a vineyard, destroying everything in its path before stopping in front of a house. The group gets out of the boat, and Trevor finds out that the volcano is Mount Vesuvius. Suddenly, a farmer shows up, devastated that his vineyard is destroyed. But Sean takes a diamond from his backpack and gives it to the farmer as payment for the damage they caused. A few days later, Trevor returns to his workplace and informs Alan that he has quit and opened a new institute. Alan doesn't believe him, saying that Trevor doesn't have the money for that. But Trevor tells him that he found a little fortune while he was off, referring to all the diamonds that Sean had taken. On the final day of his visit, Sean parts ways with Trevor and Hannah in front of their new home, which was also purchased with some of the diamonds Sean took from the cave. Trevor hands Sean a book titled Atlantis, suggesting they could hang out during Christmas break. Sean then puts the book in his backpack, and then the glowing bird that guided him gets out of the backpack. It starts flying around while Sean calls it to come back. The movie ends there. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos.